Welcome to Radicata Nutrition, the only channel where we talk about true healing and nourishment from the inside out so that you can finally feel home in your body. Isn't that what we all want? Wouldn't that feel amazing? I mean, I've been feeling like there's been something missing for many, many years. And what has been missing is that I wasn't feeling home within myself. And part of that journey was learning about what it actually means to quote unquote feel fat. So I'm sure that you can all relate to feeling fat, like feeling gross, yeah, what does that actually mean? It feels like we're using that expression as a feeling, as an emotion, but because we're saying feeling bad, but this is nothing, this is not a true feeling. This is not a true emotion. It's usually a sign that there is some kind of discomfort and somewhere in our life, not necessarily in our body. But when we feel that way, when we feel like there's something that is stretching us out of our comfort zone, when there's something that's causing us to be a little bit scared, or something that is unfamiliar or unknown, many of us may end up feeling fat as a result. And we turn those fears and concerns and stress in our life towards ourselves. And then we start feeling fat and feeling like, oh, there's something wrong with the way my body look, with the size of my body, with this and that. And I'm here to tell you that this is actually a coping mechanism, because when there are feelings that are just too big for us to feel, it just makes sense that we're trying to, I guess we've all learned that from a very long time ago, from a very young age, that it was easier to distract ourselves from the real emotions, from the real issues, and turn the problem back to ourselves into something that we can see, something that is more tangible, something that we feel like we can do something about it, and that is our body, the size of our body. So it is something that I see very often, people having that feeling, and I've experienced that myself too, when they feel fat and feel like there's something wrong with their body is too big, and it feels disgusting, they feel ugly, they feel uncomfortable with their body. It's actually, their body may not have changed from a week ago, but something else might have changed in their life, and they're facing more stress, more pressure in whatever area of their life, whether it is their career, finances, any kind of relationships, or any other area of their life. So, and isn't it interesting? So our first strategy is to distract ourselves from those harder emotions by going back to turning that back against ourselves and feeling fat instead. And then when that happens, it's usually because we have some sense of loss of control and we feel like we're losing control in some areas of our life. Things are not going exactly the way that we would like them to do, or that we had planned, or that we expected them to go. So we try to regain control by saying, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on this diet, or I'm going to try to start restricting this calorie. I'm going to go do a Whole30 or go paleo, or I'm going to cut out carbs, or whatever it is. You know, whether you use the word diet or not, whatever way you use food and restriction, or you start working out a lot more in an attempt to change the way your body look, with the goal of, and this might not be conscious at all, you know, I'm saying what is actually going at the subconscious level, because we're only conscious of about 5 to 10% of what is happening in our thought process, and that are actually guiding the way we behave. But for 90 to 95% of what we're doing, it's actually what is below the water, you know, the part of the iceberg that is below the water. So the tip of the iceberg is only a very small portion of what is happening that we're aware of. But now I'm trying to talk about what is below the water, what is making that bulk of that iceberg. And yeah, so one of the reasons why we distract ourselves from feeling our true feeling by feeling fat instead, and then try to regain some control by doing whatever changes to the way we eat or the way we move our body in an attempt to change the way it looks, that's just our subconscious trying to do its best at trying to make us feel a little bit better. So feeling like, okay, yes, it seems easier to handle, more manageable, that it's, you know, something wrong with your body than something wrong with your whole life. It also seems more like it gives you a false sense of control, that you can control the way you eat and how often and how long you go to the gym, rather than feeling like you don't have control over anything. Because really, that's the truth. We don't have control over anything in our life. There's always things that are going to happen that we cannot plan for, that will not be expected. But I've got a surprise for you, or maybe something that you may not want to hear, but we actually don't have that much control over what our body looks. Our body is going to change and transform with time. It's going to age. Our size is going to change. Hormones are going to do what they're going to do. And so that's why when I talk about trying to regain a false sense of control by changing the way we eat or changing the way we move our body, it really is a false, I'm not using quotation right here, but it is actually a false, underlined false sense of control, because we don't have control over anything at all. And this is just, again, mechanism to distract you from your true feelings. And one of the most important aspect of transformation is going back to the heart and really feeling our feelings, even though it might be hard at times. And just know that you don't have to feel them all at once, but allowing you to feel what your heart is feeling a little bit at a time is really where a lot of shift and transformation can occur. Because we've been at the level of the mind, that's where our society operates. We like information and thinking and logic and analyzing and all of that, but that's not where transformation happens. You have enough information, you're smart, you're educated, you know a lot of stuff about health and nutrition. What we want to do is drop down to the level of the heart to truly feel those feelings that are hard to feel, because we no longer want to be stuck in that old vicious patterns of then having those hard feelings and then feeling fat and then restricting or trying to go on a diet or change the way our body look to gain some false sense of control. We want to say no to that, because we know where that leads us. It just leads us to the same old place of feeling stuck and miserable and feeling like a victim and feeling like our life is not what we want it to be. So if you've been feeling fat, this is the journaling prompt that I'm going to give you. I'm feeling fat. So what is it that I actually don't want to feel? And it may not be that easy to answer. So give yourself some space and time to let the answer come to you. And just write and let it flow until you feel like you get to the truth of it. And if you shed some tears, if you feel afraid, if you feel some emotions that you've been avoiding, just let it flow through the words, through your arms, through the pen, and through your body, and let it out of your body. And that will help you see on a piece of paper that, wow, okay, I understand now. It's not really about my body, wasn't it? No. So once you can see it, it doesn't mean that the problem is, solved and everything is perfect. This is a process that we have to do and repeat whenever we have that feeling of feeling fat show up over and over again. But as you learn to go deeper and really having that greater awareness in what that kind of feeling means, then this is going to become a habit, and you're going to start to see it as a little red flag that your heart is waving at you, like there are some hard stuff that you don't want to feel right now, and please take a minute to just slow down and not go into panic mode and look for the next best diet or next workout routine to start next week. Please take a time to slow down and feel into what is it that you actually don't want to feel right now. No more distraction. I mean, doesn't mean that we won't distract ever from our feelings, but trying to be courageous and brave And that's what strength truly is, to be able to lean into that discomfort and to really go a bit deeper into those roots of why you're feeling the way you're feeling, instead of being stuck in the same old sabotaging patterns of, you know, restricting and binging and going back and forth, and just um, instead of facing the real things that are really, really important to you and the things that really matter to you in your life, being stuck and just having that narrow vision of looking at your body and the way you eat and the way you work out and all of that. So we really want to open things up so that you have the tools to start living a life that is more aligned with your heart and soul's desire. This is what it is all about. I know it may feel scary to really ask yourself that question and really feel into it, but this is truly one of the best way that you can open things up and really connect with your heart, so that you can create a life that is more in alignment with your heart and soul's true desires, and so that you can feel home in your body more than you ever have. So that's it for today. I wish you all a good rest of your week. Stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any episode. Have a good rest of your week. Namaste.